Hi, Dr. Grant. I'm Mr. Ehrenfeld. I was observing your daughter, Jane. Yeah, it was great to get to observe her and watch her. So I just wanted to go over some things with you, um, and really help you understand, how your daughter's doing in school and stuff like that. Great, awesome. So first, just some general observations I had about Jane. I noticed she was a little quiet. She doesn't really talk with many of the other students, but I get that it's okay. Some kids are shy, so the only thing with that, maybe just encouraging your daughter to really start making some friends in her class, make these connections, because we do want children to grow not only in their education but also socially. Secondly, I noticed she's a very hard worker. She always makes sure that she completes her work on time, and she always gets her work done in class. I have noticed as well that she will sometimes move to the back of the class if she's getting distracted to make sure that she can keep up her work. So that's just something really great that I noticed that we should continue to nurture. And thirdly, while she is quiet, I noticed she is very friendly. She's very able to work well with others, especially in group projects or peer-on-peer review. I noticed that she was a great partner to her other students. So those are just some of the general observations I saw. So next, on to some strengths and areas of need. So like I mentioned, she's very committed to her schoolwork, very committed to making sure that she gets it done on time and gets it done well. Most of her grades are A's and B's, which is great. We love to see that. And while she hasn't quite reached the highest level of knowledge yet, obviously she's still only a freshman, so it doesn't, we're not expecting kids to be at that level, but she does have an advanced knowledge of the content area, which is great to see. And then some of the areas of need, while she does do her best to work, she does get easily distracted by even a couple whispers. So she did work it out with the teacher where she can move seats if she needs to make sure that she gets her work done. And as I also mentioned, she hasn't quite reached the mastery level of the concepts, but again, it's only halfway through the year and she's only a freshman, so it's really nothing to be concerned about there. And then lastly, she is a little quiet compared to the other students, but that doesn't really affect her performance in school, so that's just more of a social area that could be improved on for her sake. So now the content area, again, as I said, she is between the basic and advanced knowledge of the content area. She's able to pretty much recall all the terms and concepts for the class. She's able to recall dates, names of wars, just different things like that, terms of, for different eras of history. And one thing I did notice is that a lot of times she'll be unable to pronounce the words, but she can identify them almost 9 times out of 10 just by writing them. So I have noticed that maybe she's not quite so comfortable with her words, and maybe she's more comfortable with writing or with her actions than with her words. So just based on my pre-assessment before the lesson even occurred, like I said, she's a good learner and a hard worker. She's always constantly making sure that she can succeed. And I have noticed that she knows her roadblocks. She knows where she lacks and she knows where she can improve. And she works to get past those roadblocks and ensure that she does the best that she can. She is more comfortable using her writing or her actions than her words, both in her classwork and in her interactions with other students. And while she can grasp those intermediate concepts, she is on the way to those deeper understanding of the mastery level of the concept area. So for the lesson that I taught, it was a peer review lesson. So basically what we had was all the students wrote DBQ essays, which is a document-based question. And so basically they will receive about 8 to 12, maybe more documents that they will analyze and pull to create a argumentative essay. And so this essay the question was, how barbaric were the Mongols? So they were given a list of documents that they could analyze over the course of about 3 days, and then turn in a final essay using those documents. And so using those essays, we basically paired up students for a one-on-one peer review. And the way we paired them was based on their grade on the essay, their general grade in the class, as well as their knowledge of the area, the content area, and as well as personality. So when we paired up Jane with her student, we made sure that their grades were pretty similar and that the knowledge that they exhibited was pretty similar, but with the personality, we did choose to put Jane with a more talkative student just to maybe get her talkative more and trying to get her out of her shell, but that was just more of a preference that we had. And so basically what would happen was we would go through each essay as a class, and we would mark whether each essay was missing certain things or had the certain requirements, and we would highlight and write all over the essay to make sure that the students had a good visual of what they were missing, what they could improve on. And so the whole point obviously is to give good constructive feedback and to help the students to improve their essays, as well as to gauge the students' ability to know how the DBQ works, to make sure that they have an understanding of how to write a DBQ essay, since there is a national rubric that we use to make sure that they can accurately gauge, their essay. And so while the whole time during this lesson, I was observing Jane more closely, just making sure that she could keep up, and she was doing a great job. She followed the instructions well. She finished at the same time as the other students, so she wasn't taking any extra time. And after that, we continued to peer review, going around. They could pick whoever they wanted the second round, but just making sure that they got an accurate grade. And then after they received their peer review grade, we gave them their the actual grade that we would have given them, so they could see how their fellow students graded versus how the teacher graded. So overall, it was great observing Jane and getting to know how she works in class. And getting to watch her struggle with the roadblocks, it really provided me with a better way to make sure I can help these other students that have any areas of need, as well as quieter students who maybe are struggle with the social aspect of class. Maybe they're doing great in class, but they need some help getting out of their shell. So really watching Jane helps me to make sure that I can include all these students and include different strategies that can help make it easier for them in class. So thank you very much for your time. I hope this has been a good information session for you, and hopefully Jane can continue to do well in school. All right. Thank you very much, and have a good holiday.